Hi, Clayton. It's good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that. I would like to ask you, what was your inspiration for the idea behind Wish Upon a Black Star?
Like everything that I've ever written, my inspiration comes from living. It comes from my life. I don't really conceptualize and come up with some big plan. It's just kind of a natural extension of my own experiences, my own life. So I think the idea of Wish Upon a Black Star as a whole was more the concept of be careful what you wish for, and because I felt like a lot of my lyrics kind of like reflected that. So I wrote a song called Black Star, and then the idea came after I wrote the song Black Star, to wish upon a black star, and then that just kind of formed a whole idea behind the album. So it was almost constructed in reverse.
Awesome, that's very interesting. What would you say makes these songs different in comparison to previous Celldweller releases?
Hopefully a lot. My production styles have changed, my production sound has changed, my influences have changed, as they always have over the years. I feel like as an artist, if I sat here and wrote the same music, I would lose whatever fan base I had, and I would be unbelievably bored. So this sound is definitely much more a reflection of where I'm at musically right now.
Awesome, yeah. I was on your website again today before I came and noticed it seems like the fans, just online, the few posts that I saw, just the few tweets going through, seems like they're, receiving it very well.
Yeah.
Are each chapter's artwork and music, etc., are they analogous to each other, or is it left open to interpretation?
Everything I do is really, I try to leave it open to interpretation. I very rarely come out and say, this is exactly what this is supposed to mean. So, yeah, the artwork is definitely analogous, because the chapters that I'm releasing, the covers for each of these chapters will eventually piece together to a 5-panel layout for the CD, which will actually be one big image. So each piece of artwork actually is one panel on the CD, and when the 5th chapter, which is the final 2 songs, is released on the physical CD, all 5 of those will be laid out as one big image. So they are definitely, there's a purpose for every piece of artwork that's coming out.
Awesome, I like that. So I believe you're on the 3rd chapter right now?
Yeah,
was released?
Working on 4, which is coming out very
So
shortly.
working on 4, and then once 5 is out, after that comes out?
No, actually, there won't actually be a release of Chapter 5 first. The actual
So
Chapter
that'll
5
come out with the physical?
CD, yes.
Okay.
So after Chapter 4, the next thing to come is the actual physical, complete disc with all 11 songs now.
Yeah, that was my next question, actually. I was going to ask you, what is included in Wish Upon a Black Star's physical package that differs from its digital chapters?
Well, the whole idea is, instead of me waiting a few years to release all the songs at one time, I'm releasing them 2 at a time, plus all the bonus stuff that I'm including with them, which my fan base, which is who I'm primarily concerned about, have been requesting. So it's going to contain all the songs from the 4 chapters, which will be 8 tracks, and then there'll be 3 songs that no one will have heard yet. So it'll be an 11-song release.
Cool. I'm looking forward to listening to the entire thing.
Me too.
How has the new music been received by your fans?
As far as I know, well, I've never really been the guy to change what I do based on what someone else's opinion is, because you really can't please anyone. So I just do what I want to do. And fortunately for me, my fan base has not only followed, but they've also grown. So the numbers are reflecting that it's resonating somewhere. So somebody gets it.
That's very exceptional. How has the tour been thus far?
Depends on the date, but we're still alive, so we'll say good.
Are there any words you'd like to express about the situation in Japan? I know you were touring there before the earthquake.
Yeah, and now that we've been there, we actually have friends there as a result of the tour, friends that we made there, and it's kind of sobering, because it's like people that I know are actually emailing and saying, hey, we're okay, but there are aftershocks, and we're kind of still in fear of our lives, and it's kind of a scary thing when the only thing that we really depend on is that we have stable ground underneath our feet, and when that moves, kind of probably puts a whole new perspective on mortality. And I get a sense that's how a lot of these people are feeling right now. It's just kind of, your world kind of gets shaken up, and it's pretty sobering. So as I told them, it's like my prayers go out to them, and we just hope that the worst is done and they can rebuild and repair what has happened, as a result of this earthquake.
After all your musical transformations over the years, can you tell me what makes Celldweller's music stand out in your mind from all the rest you've done before?
It's the most current. To me, whatever I'm doing right now is the best work I've ever done, and I hope that's the case. I'll look back as soon as it's done and say, no, that sucks, and I need to do something better. That's the only reason I continue to make art and continue to make music, is because I've never done anything that I've said, wow, that's I can't get any better than this. If I hit that point, then I might as well just give up. So Celldweller is what I'm focusing on solely, and so therefore that's the best stuff that I've done, and hopefully the most current, and keeps me the most excited.
Awesome. What new elements have you been doing live that previously were not done live as far as the performance goes?
Almost everything. Well, not almost everything, but a big chunk of it. The sound of the show is completely different than the way I used to tour. I used to tour as a 4 to 5 piece rock band. I would just put together a band after I was done making an album and go out and tour, and I have been just bored to death with rock and roll and the 5-piece rock thing. I can't stand it. I just stopped touring because I just didn't want to do it anymore. And I finally decided to just rethink my whole live show and decided to just do it very stripped down. One to 2 people, and that's what it is right now. It's me and Brett from Blue Stolly, who was signed to my label. So that part is very different. The sound is much more in an electronic world, which is much more what I'm into, much more what keeps my interest sonically. And the visuals I've always had visuals during my shows from as far back as I've ever toured. I've always had video of some sort running, but this is different in the sense that I shot 75 minutes of original footage for the live show. Like, this thing was produced like a huge music video. So there's also live performance, like drums and things that you're actually hearing live, but there's no live drummer. But the drums, you're hearing live drums in certain moments, and you're actually seeing me up on the screen playing them, some vocal things the same way. It's treated like a music video. So there was a ton of production and a ton of time and money put behind the video aspect of the show as well. So, and as far as I'm concerned, this is like version 1.0. I'm already in my mind on version 10, so I have 9 more versions to go before I'm even where I think I want to be. So,
yeah, that's awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to
add? In general?
Yeah, just in general.
Follow me on Facebook and Twitter if you're interested in updates, because I've been doing a lot of them.
Awesome. Well, I'll make sure to include all those in the post. So, I really appreciate your time, and thank you for the interview.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, awesome, man.
Thanks.
Looking forward to the show.
Me too.